Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to do a Forex market update, see what's happening on the charts for today. So remember, if you trade in USD pairs, EURUSD, GBPUSD, always look at DXY first of all. So go on tradingview.com and top left corner type in DXY. If you start on the weekly, you can see that obviously I marked the charts last time. You don't have to start from scratch every time. So you just update the chart. So as you can see, the weekly support and resistance levels. You should know by now why these are support and resistance. If you don't, this is where price changes from bearish to bullish. It's a point of reaction. You can see here it changed direction, change direction. This is a support level that's respected. Again here, you can see there's a fake out here. However, this is a point of reaction where price changed from bullish to bearish. Therefore, you can see that price is moving in between these levels since approximately March 22. So these weekly support and resistance levels have been respected for the last 3 years. So now that you've marked, you can see that it's breached the weekly support, but remember it breached it here and it faked out and it came back down. So it could be the case where it'll come down but then it'll go back up like that. So we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. However, it does look bearish at the moment. If you go to the daily time frame, you can see that price made a lower low, then a lower high. It retested the weekly support and now it's bearish again. So it does look as though it is continue to be bearish. So if I update the daily levels, this daily resistance goes on the weekly resistance now. So the weekly support is now acting as resistance. And here's the other daily level here where the wick is. So if you go to the H4 time frame now, you can see that price, so the H4 is in yellow, the daily is in red. So you can see it breached the weekly support, it's retested it and it's looking to go back down. So if DXY is going down, then EURUSD, GBPUSD is going up. So if we have a look at EURUSD, so remember if DXY is going down, we'll expect EURUSD to go up. So if you start on the weekly, so you can see here price at your weekly support, prices at your weekly resistance. It's in between these levels for the last, similar DXY since March 22. So remember it's negatively correlated. If DXY goes down, EURUSD goes up. You'll see the DXY and EURUSD is literally opposite charts, opposite price action. So the dollar index can indicate where the dollar's going next. So if dollar's going down, that means euro's going up. So you can see here it's broke out the weekly resistance. We can expect to retest it come back down. If we go to the daily, you can see it's exactly done that. So it's broke it, made a high low, higher high, and now it's retested it. It's going down to this level before it goes up. Well, that's what I expect to happen. However, as you can see previously, when it did break out the weekly resistance, it'll act as support, it'll come back as resistance, and then it'll go back down. So there's two ways that I can play out, but right now it's in between these two levels here. So we'll have to wait and see what's going on. I'll update the daily support. So here's your most recent high low. So this is now your most recent daily support, and obviously you've got one here as well. If you go to the H4 time frame, so you're breaking it down even further, you can see here I had marked it yesterday, so we'll see the price action of yesterday. So this was the most recent high, and here was the high low, and you can see that it went from 100% to 0%, and if it breaches it, which it did, it'll go to minus 23, and if it goes down further, it'll go to minus 61. So you could have took a sell trade up to here, minus 61, and you would have been profitable from here. You wouldn't have entered it yesterday, you would have entered it here on Monday, the bank call. So let's update these levels now. So start on H4. Remember, you just want to mark your support and resistance levels. Here's your resistance where it's a high. Here's your support where it made the most recent high low. When price is at the yellow zone, it'll go here. When price is here, it'll go here. When price is here, it'll go here. Price here, it'll go here. Price will move from support and resistance. These are high probability areas where price is rejected. These are known as point of reaction areas. If you then go to an H1, so if we're trading today, which is Wednesday, we're going to look at this day's price action, which is yesterday's in market as so. So if I show you, get it from the high the previous day, get the Fibonacci retracement tool, this one, get it from the high of the day to the low, which would have been here, but you could have dragged it to here now. There you go. So these are levels for today. When price comes here, we look for a buy. When price is here, we look for a sell. Remember, if DXY is going down, that means EURUSD is going up. So in fact, you could have took a buy trade here at 8 o'clock when London session opened. That would have been a really good trade to be in, because you would have been entered here, a long position. And stop loss would have been just underneath here, the higher low. And TP would be here. So you're risking 18 pips to win 154. And that's a risk to reward ratio of 8, which is absolutely phenomenal. Anything over 3, 1 to 3 is a really good trade. 1 to 2, I wouldn't recommend taking the trade. However, the way price is going now, it might retest it and come back down. If it does, I missed this trade at 8 o'clock. So it's now 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. in the UK. If this goes here and I see a bullish candlestick, a good bullish engulfing candlestick or a hammerhead, indicates buys into the market, I'm going to enter a buy trade. So that's how I'm trading EURUSD. That is my setup for today. Oh, hold on. So I'll leave that here. When price comes here, I look for a buy and I'll leave it as that. So now if we go on to GBPUSD, which is similar price action to EURUSD, let's have a look. Weekly, again, you can see here, weekly support, weekly resistance. Price is at the weekly resistance, we expect it to go down. Then you go to the daily, you can see the daily, it rejected the weekly and the daily resistance. And it looks to be going down to this level here. If we go to the H4 time frame, you can see we've got our weekly, H4 support, which is a higher low. You can see a higher low, again, higher low, again, higher high. So this is your H4 resistance, and then it's gone down, potentially at a higher low here. So this is the most recent higher low. So this will be the new level in yellow. This is your most recent higher low, and that's your most recent higher high. So these are your H4 levels. Price will move from one level to another. It was here, it went up to this H4 resistance, it got rejected, it made a double top, came back down. Now we're close to this H4. If the DXY is in your direction, so if DXY is going down, GBPUSD will go up. So from here, you'd expect price to reject it. You can see massive rejection, massive candle wick here. Rejection of sellers to push the price down. Again, rejection, rejection, rejection. I see price to retrace it, and then before it goes back up here. So remember, daily support, H4 resistance. Price will move from one level to another. Simple as that. Once it gets close to this H4 resistance, we can take a buy trade. And I'll show you exactly how. So if we go on to H4, GBPUSD, let me just get rid of these drawings. You always want your charts clean, minimal, so it's easy to read. You don't want to use too many indicators, too many drawings. It's unnecessary. Keep it clean. H for support, H for resistance. When price is here, we'll look for a buy. So now we're breaking down further. We're going to go to a H1 time frame. Remember, if you want to analyze H1 today, you look at previous day's price action. So we're looking at Tuesday's price action to mark the levels. You'll see here, get the Fibonacci tool, get it from the high of the day, which is here, drag it to the low of the day. Here is your H1 support, here is your H1 resistance. When price comes to this level, or close to the level, we will buy. When price comes to this level, or close to the level, we will look for sell. Remember, DXY is going down, which means the USD pairs are going up. So it's likely that price will go up from here. Similar to Euro USD. So 8 o'clock in the morning, where were we? We were at this candlestick here. Decent candlestick, not great. Here was a bit of good entry, but there's a massive wick. Could have hit your stop loss. Look, it's currently here. I'm going to enter a buy trade. I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to put my stop loss here. So what you can do is, this is H1. You're entering on this candlestick. You can break it down further to an M15 just to minimize your stop loss. Prices come here once, twice. You can see there's a slight support level here and an M15. I'm going to risk 20 pips to win 103. That's a risk to reward ratio of 5, so 1 to 5. That's really good. So I'm going to go ahead and enter that trade on MetaTrader 4. If you just bear with me. So if you're trading £1 a pip, you're going to risk £200 to make £1,000. If you're trading £10 a pip, you'll be risking £200 to risk £10 a pip, sorry, £2,000 to make £10,000. So if we're trading £1 a pip, we'll go on to MT4, GBPUSD, trade, put your stop loss in, which is this here in red. You can see this, 1.32893. 1.2332893, and your TP would be here, which is this in green, 1.34136. 1.34136. Enter a buy trade, you're in the trade. What you can do is now you can manage it. So it could be the case where it only gets to here. If it gets to here, you can close the trade because it's retraced at 78.6. It might not go to fulfill the retracement to 100%. So that's how I would see it go playing out. Anyway, I've shown you how to break down DXY, how this correlates with your analysis with the USD pairs. I've broken down Euro USD from a top to bottom analysis. I've also done the same with the GBP and I've shown you a live trade that I've entered with you guys risking 20 pips to make 103 pips. So I'm risking £200 to make £1,000. We'll see how it plays out. I hope you've enjoyed this analysis. I hope you can follow with it. I was going to do some more currencies. I was going to do gold and USD, but the video is nearly 13 minutes long. I only like to keep them 10 minutes so you actually watch it. If you are watching it, like it, share it, subscribe it, give me some feedback, tell me what currencies you want me to analyze. I hope you enjoyed this. See you in the next video. Peace.